It's Last Man in episode 56. We have Dan, Cam, Stefan, and myself, Greg, here in Kenora.
What the hell? You didn't say me.
He said Dan.
Oh! Sorry, Greg. I'm a power-hungry egomaniac over here.
You have to say Cam's name at the beginning, middle,
Yeah.
and end.
Yeah.
We're here with...
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I'm live from Kenora. It's Cam, Dan, Cam, Stefan, Cam, and me.
That's more like it. So, Greg, how's it going over in the land of Kenora?
It's really hot in my hotel room. The air is not really working properly, but it's warm outside. It's nice. I'm not complaining.
It is getting a little warmer. I found the other pen from last week. I don't know where I wrote that up.
Probably from the
Before we
placed
started
drawer.
recording, just to fill everyone else in, Dan kept asking me where I put all his non-clicky pens, and I just keep pulling them out of places from where I'm sitting. They're like surrounding me.
The non-clicky pen stable
It's
is getting
dwindling.
lower.
It is.
Dangerously low.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, I like the weather. I like how it's dropping. September, I just want to...
You know what?
Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you made clicky sounds.
You know what? It was nice until Sunday, and then it was plus 40, and I just want to die.
I want to say, though, well, the weather, it's going to be...
It's
always
dropping.
it's dropping.
It's getting cold next week.
I was going to say, September,
like to.
odds on, September for the next 4 months, the best 4 months for sports-wise. Got
Clearly.
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going on, right?
Yeah.
So
Everything. I love
Everything.
September.
Great.
September's the best.
It's fantastic.
Because you got
NFL
hockey
free.
rolling around.
NFL starts in like a week.
NFL Sunday. Sweet mama.
How about the Eagles?
How about
28 points on the Packers in the first
Dad,
quarter.
right here, undefeated
Just
all
saying.
year.
Just
We'll meet you in the wild card, baby. 4-0 undefeated.
You got it.
The Vikings and Eagles.
we'll see. We'll see what both
No,
those
we
teams-
will see. We
Because,
will see.
yeah.
Last time both those teams made the playoffs?
Actually,
Eagles
I
made
have
it
a
2
very
years ago.
disappointing chart that I will tweet, even though it's last man in, of like last playoff wins. Vikings 09, Eagles 08.
Oh.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, the Eagles have made it, but they haven't won a playoff game in quite a while.
Since 08.
It's fine if Sammy Bradford can keep his ACL good. We're fine.
I'm totally
We're
with everyone having the Pope. He's coming to town in November in Philly, and they're getting a petition going to get the Pope to bless Bradford's knees.
That's definitely beneficial. That is definitely a big
100% can confirm
Yes.
that will help.
Yeah.
Greg, what are your thoughts on that? How do you think the NFL season's going to be?
It's gonna be good.
Wow.
Greg really
Great
wants,
insight.
Greg really wants to
Wow.
get into hockey. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's jump right
All
into
right.
it, I guess. I have some Jets news. True North Sport, or Jets and Moose. True North Sports and Entertainment. I don't know how words work.
Cam's feeling it again this week.
TNSE announced a $7.5 million addition to the Iceplex. That's where the Moose and Jets practice. It's a 21,000
And that's
square...
where Greg got kicked out of.
You got kicked out of the Iceplex for doing what?
No, my beer league team did.
Oh.
Wow.
It's
Or one
embarrassing.
of my beer league teams
Are you
got
wearing
kicked out of
Leafs
there
jerseys?
for, official abuse because we're such awesome people.
You know what? I can't even say anything worse because I've definitely been kicked out of games, and
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't had a suspended or
I've
something.
I've said a few things in my day. So I
Yeah,
can't
we all
really,
get those the parents ones where it's like, it's just a game. I'm like, it is just a game, parents. That night I'll go to a beer league game and say some real nice words to a ref. And then afterwards I'm like, Lord, I apologize. I'm like,
I probably should have said that.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But anyways, True North Sports and Entertainment, it'll be a 21,000 square foot addition to the Iceplex. They're going to break ground on this September. It's going to be on the east side. So you know where the main entrance is? Mm-hmm. It's going to be like on the far right of that. It's going to have
The players park for practices.
No, the other side. The other side.
No, that's the east side.
No, that's west side. I looked at a map today.
No.
Yes.
Cam,
Gregory.
When you look at the
That's where
entrance,
the
it'd be
players
to the right.
Yeah, that's what I said. And
Yeah.
the players park on the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're
Anyways, they're going to have dressing room
No.
facilities for the Moose and the Jets. They'll all be in separate rooms. Like the Jets are going to have their own side of the building, and the
Yeah.
Moose are going to have their right. They're going to have separate player lounges, equipment in medical rooms, coaching staff, offices. They're each going to have their own stuff. It's 2 levels.
Yeah.
It's looking good. Like, I like it.
How does it affect the junior hockey team?
It doesn't. They're now practicing on the other rink. I don't know the name of the other rink, but it's not the one with the seating. It's the other one.
What junior team was practicing?
Blues. The Winnipeg
still Blues.
Yeah.
They play out of the Winnipeg Free Press Arena, and the Jets and Moose, I'm assuming, are practicing out of the Assembly Credit Union. The ACU.
Yeah, if that's a smaller one, then yes. I don't know the names of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never been in the Iceplex once.
Really?
Never.
It's very
I
nice.
watched a women's hockey game there once.
Women's hockey.
Yeah, it was like women's junior hockey. It was a.
Actually, you know what? I can confirm I've done that with Greg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Greg was trying to hit some ladies up.
Well, a friend's little sister was on the team, but Greg has an
That's
affinity
you.
for any lady with blonde hair and in a ponytail in hockey. So
I
half of the
see.
ladies on the ice. Greg, can you confirm or deny this?
I confirm.
There you go.
I concur.
Yeah, I concur.
Just
yeah.
one more thing. That Kevin Cheveldayoff came out yesterday and said this pretty much, for anyone that thought the Moose was a temporary thing, it's pretty much shuts them up and says, no, they're here for, they're here forever.
I like that. No, that's good. I was going to say I missed that. And also, just on the topic of the Moose, I know we didn't talk about it because I haven't heard anything news. I talked about it right before we started recording. Greg, have you heard anything about the radio broadcast rights for the Moose? Who's going to have it? Because they haven't mentioned anything. I know it used to be with the local radio station CJOB 68, but will it be 1290 now? Because it might would it be 1290? Because 1290, what if they have a game at the same night? They're going to
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking CGOB is going to do it.
Yeah.
True.
And I really like Kelly Moore. He's awesome.
Or it could be, 1019 Jewel FM, or I think that's what it's called.
It might be, yeah, I was going to say it could be an FM station.
No.
92?
Never.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know, man. FM is
FM's not
uncharted
sports?
territories. Yeah, man. I don't think that'd be a. You can't get a good signal far away. AM, you can get a good
True,
signal.
yeah, you get those power signals there.
Yeah.
I want Kelly Moore back because he doesn't get excited after every shot, Bayak. And Andrew Ladd coming on the way. Oh, it rings around.
Wraps
What are
around.
you doing?
2 on 1 the other way.
Come on, stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. And just to answer my question from last week, because he is on the Jets, Dustin Byfuglien's agent, his name is Ben Hankinson, and Dustin Byfuglien is by far his best agent. Client. Yeah, best agent. Whatever. They're agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay?
There we go.
His other clients are Paul Martin, Jordan Leopold, Tim Jackman, and John Scott. So what I have learned from that is Byfuglien's going to be a Penguin.
Yes. at
Buff
some point.
Pens 2016. Start it now, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, nope, that's not hockey. No, I said it anyways. Did you guys watch the movie awards?
No.
Did you hear
There were movie
Yeezy?
awards?
Yeezy announced he's running for president in 2020. Kanye West.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
That's-
That's an early promise.
Greg, would you vote for Yeezy?
No.
Don't worry. You know
There's
why?
no aspect of business.
You know why? Because he's going to lose to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. What if they run together?
Oh, God.
Yeezy will Trump you. Boom! Slogan.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why I didn't bring that up. They should have just left that one
I'm
up
sorry,
there. Up in the cupboard.
Like, celebrity, that just to me is a joke. That, like, Donald Trump seems kind of plausible, but Kanye West for president, really?
Okay, well,
Donald
fine.
Trump stopped eating Oreos because he found out they expanded to Mexico.
Really?
He's
Yes.
the perfect American.
Whoa!
He's the perfect American.
I remember he did.
That's absurd. The most absurd thing. You can't not eat Oreos. First off, they're the best cookies. They're the best.
They're pretty good.
Yes.
They're
And
pretty
just
good.
'cause
Oh, I had your ice cream sandwich thing, but with Chips Ahoy.
Okay.
Delicious. So good.
Yeah.
Would try again.
Yes.
100%. But just to add on to Donald Trump and his ludicrousy, he was doing one of the debates with like 8 representatives, and in his opening argument, in his opening statement, he's like, I have given money to, and he pointed to 7 of the 8 other people. And the one dude who didn't get pointed to was like, what the hell, Donald? Like, had a look like, why not me? All right, well, let's move on here. What else do I have? Oh, yeah, right. I'll just answer our questions from last week, and then we can hop into it. Oh! I'm all over the place.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yep.
I got to get a hold
It's
of
going to make
myself.
sense in a second. Just
Al Arbour.
One thought at a time. One thought at a time.
I know. Al Arbour, he passed away at the age of 82. He was a coach for the St. Louis Blues and the New York Islanders. For the Blues, his record was 70 and 73. Oh, no, wait. From 70 to 73. I know
There
how to
we
read
go.
notes. He went 42, 40, and 25. And in playoffs, he went 4 for 7. Or 4 and 7. My life.
4 for 7 is pretty good.
He was coach of the Islanders for 19 years, from 73 to 94. His record was 740, 537, and 223. In the playoffs, he went 114 wins, 76 losses, 4 cups. He had 15 playoff appearances, and those 4 cups were from 80 to 83, 4 straight. He is the last coach to win 4 straight championships, and the Islanders are the last team in the 4 major sports in North America to win 4 straight championships. He's the last coach in the 4 major championships.
Has any major team won 3?
Yes, Bulls in the 90s.
Yeah.
Lakers have done it.
NBA is probably the most likely.
Yeah, Bulls.
3 in a row?
Bulls, Lakers, and there's one other team in there, I believe, that have done it.
Has any NHL team won 3 in a row besides the Islanders?
Oh, 4 you mean? Not since,
no,
but
3 in a row.
3 since? I don't believe so.
Did Edmonton ever win 3 in a row?
I think the Oilers did, didn't
No.
they?
Oh, yeah, right. They directly followed him.
Yeah.
But they won 3. It wasn't 4.
Wasn't 4?
They
Okay.
won 3, lost 1, and then won another one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, because the 80s there's only like 3 cup champs or something. Right?
Yeah, and if you look on his career stats, in 07-08 he coached 1 game with the Islanders to go 1-0 because their current coach Ted Nolan noticed that Al Arbour had 1,499 games coached with the Islanders, and he's like, let's make it an even 1,500. So he let him coach for just a game.
That's
and
awesome.
Was
they
he on
won.
the coaching staff?
Yeah, for 1 day, just to give him the 1,500.
But was he on the coaching staff like before that?
No,
Really?
they just had him.
And you can do that?
What? I guess I don't know. It's Ted Nolan. He's kind of
I guess it's like signing like a 1-day contract in any league, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
just
sign
to,
a
like,
1 day.
retire.
But,
you know?
but do they have to fire their coach for a day
No,
and then hire him
he
again?
just stepped aside. He was kind of like co-coach. It was Ted Nolan.
I'm sure you can be like, yeah, because if a guy's injured, technically you have another coach come in, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like, or not injured, but
Tortorella when he got suspended that one time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Al Arbour's the second winningest NHL coach in history. And fun fact, he actually played D for 18 years for 4 NHL teams, but many minor league teams too. But the 4 teams he played for were the Wings, Hawks, Leafs, and I can't read that other one.
at all.
That's a scribbly. So the Blues. He was the last NHL player to wear glasses. And these are some heavy hitting stats here. In 14 NHL seasons, he had 12 NHL goals. That's my kind of player.
Less than
right
one
there.
a year. I
Less
like it.
than one a year. Oh, and he was the first captain of the Blues. So that's for Al Arbour. Now moving on to somewhat close to home news per se. Very close to Gregory. Very close.
Very close. You can almost say in the same vicinity.
Almost in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
We don't. He could be there.
Maybe he goes to the same place Greg works.
We never know.
Yeah.
We never know.
Can you look that up, Greg?
He can't confirm or deny that.
Yes.
It's all alleged. What we're talking about is Mike
My
Rich.
mouth is shut.
What's up?
I said my mouth is shut. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I was sworn to secrecy.
Yes. Well, hey, that's all right. We're all sworn to secrecy from time to time. Don't search my internet search history. May 2007 specifically. Nobody, please. I can go away for a long time. Mike Richards was charged with unlawful possession of a controlled substance. They found substance. They found some pills in a single bottle, but it was a small quantity intended for personal use, so he can't get charged for trafficking. And so the charge, he could get charged up to 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine. Ooh. Worst case, he's probably going to do a fine and some community service. And just to talk about the Kings and how it's unlawful breachment or something, like he breached his contract, they're going at the aspect, or they might go at the aspect of, he failed to tell the Kings he was arrested. And that's breaking his contract.
But I was reading online, I think it was TSN, they were explaining how he's going to win the grievance. Like, they're very unlikely he loses the grievance.
Like Mike Richards.
Yeah.
So he's going to win.
Yeah, he's going to win.
He's going to win.
There's, just because it's not, if it was like enough to distribute, then he would have been in a lot of trouble. But because it isn't,
it was like a few pills in a pill container.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. I'm assuming it wasn't. They said found some.
Yeah.
You don't use some when it's a full bottle.
Yeah.
Like a whole backpack or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna win it, and now the Kings are gonna be screwed.
That's a great question,
they can
though.
always buy him out.
Greg.
Well, they're gonna buy him out, but the cap hit's still like significantly higher, and they just traded for all those guys, right?
Oh, mama.
If they bought him out, the cap it would be almost $3 million, right?
You can't buy someone out though.
Fluctuates.
Okay.
Cap hits. cap hit's really high if they buy him out.
Yeah, it fluctuates every year.
And it doubles his contract, right?
Because his
Yeah.
contract's $575 for another 4 years.
So it's half the money for twice the amount of years left on the contract.
Oh, okay.
That's rough.
So he'd be getting
3?
like $13 million over 8 years.
I think I'm almost positive it goes up to, like, I was reading, like, it could go up to like almost like 3.5 million 1 year because it does.
Jeez,
It does fluctuate a bit.
With the cap. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Greg, I don't know. Have you seen in the new, like in the paper around town, like, are they covering this at all, or are they kind of ignoring it?
It's swept under the rug.
Oh, really? Wow.
Interesting.
But I guess.
They're not gonna. That's their That's their like.
Well, no, of course,
that's
but
their
I mean
big
that's
game
weird.
there.
Like, do we hear anything about Taves if bad things go like in Winnipeg?
I don't think bad things happen to Taves. He's just very sneaky.
Yeah.
He's a grumpy cat.
I mean,
I don't know. I
But
guess
we hear things about like any other Jets player. So
I
I mean,
mean,
I don't know why
yeah,
it wouldn't be.
it depends on the
True.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Winnipeg, you're kind of under the microscope.
Mhm.
Kenora, you're kind of like a hero, and you're kind of like,
Because he does a lot for the community as well.
Yeah.
He does a lot
that's
of.
true. Okay, well, I guess kind of on this topic, but to answer a question from last week for rookie contracts and how they work overseas, it's actually super simple. We already answered it last podcast, but okay, NHL contracts do not take effect until the 10th NHL game of that contract. So
Okay.
if Ehlers doesn't play, if he plays 9 or less, it doesn't burn a year off his contract.
Okay.
If he goes overseas.
Exactly, yeah. And signing bonuses, this is just me, I didn't know this. Signing bonuses cannot exceed 10% of the contract's total compensation. That's for all NHL contracts. I did not know that. Like, I thought, because there's some bonuses where it's like, oh, he could make up to this, and you're like, wow, that's double of what he's making.
Yeah.
But apparently it's only 10%, so I learned that. Oh, and then one last thing to answer from last week. We're trying to find out the Dallas Stars goals for and goals against last year. They had 261 goals for, which was second best in the NHL.
2.
I'm not sure.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, I'm glad you're here. And goals against, they were 260. They were only plus 1 for 2060 in the league.
That's awful. That's pretty bad.
And to answer the question, who hurt Tyler Seguin? It was Dmitry Kulikov on February 13th, so we answered that as well. And just some quick news. Former CEO of the Leafs, Richard Petty, says Seguin parties a lot. And he tweeted today, this morning at 6 a.m., he was saying Tyler Seguin's thrown a few couple rowdy parties, and the town of Yorkville is not impressed with him. People were attacking him on Twitter saying, "Oh, well, isn't that kind of fishy that you're tweeting about this?" Now, why would that be fishy for Richard Petty? Wasn't he the CEO at the time when they traded away the pick that got Tyler Seguin? Maybe he's a little upset about it, going after
I
him.
think so, because I think you'd be hard pressed to find any NHL player under 25 who doesn't party.
I can name.
Just saying.
I can name parents who party till wee hours in the morning, and they're not multimillionaires. Yeah. So I'm sure if any of us had
right.
if you even put my favorite number, the silent number, if you put a silent 1 in front of what you make this year, I'm pretty sure we could throw a few ragers.
Yes.
Could we not?
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
could definitely.
Yeah.
I could throw $1,000 parties.
I was gonna say $10. Oh, yeah.
And in one of his tweets, he said, "Past behavior is the best predictor of the future behavior." I'm not with that. People turn their attitudes around a lot.
Yeah, people change.
And you know what? Maybe even if he is a party guy, whatever. It's Tyler Seguin. He's doing what he does. Greg, sounds like you got something to say about this.
No, I was just adjusting where you were.
Oh.
I'm listening intently to what you're saying,
I
Cameron.
bet you are.
Nice.
It sounds like it.
Nice.
All right. Greg, what do you got?
I've got
Go.
something that came out today. I don't know.
Do it.
According to, what is his name? Mark Lazarus of the Chicago Times.
I know exactly what you're
Apparently, a
going
league source told him at least 5 teams have contacted Chicago about whether or not they'd be willing to trade Patrick Kane. Also, allegedly, another NHL source told this reporter that Kane was warned by the Chicago Blackhawks after the 2012 incident where he allegedly assaulted a cab driver, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That, be on good behavior, don't screw up again. And allegedly they've run out of patience with him.
I'd like to wait, and I know you're
obviously have to wait and see, but it sounds like there could be some wheels moving potentially.
They didn't name
obviously
names,
it depends how. No, they
For
didn't name
teams,
names. No, they did not. So it's completely speculation, but so interesting.
Well, that was what I wanted to bring up because I heard that too. And my question is who's going to take in that contract?
Anybody.
'Cause that's $10 million for the next, 8 years?
It's Patrick Kane, though.
It's anybody's.
8-year, $84 million contract. So
Actually, this
8.4 a year.
this plays
10.4 a year.
This plays right into who's going to take that contract. Dan was going to talk about EA Sports NHL ratings. I'm pretty sure Patrick Kane is the highest rated right wing in the NHL. Ovechkin, maybe.
Ovechkin is.
He's a left wing.
But he's a lefty.
No, he's a lefty.
wing.
Right
Then
wing.
Corey Perry, maybe.
Corey Perry is.
Yeah.
Corey Perry is definitely the number one. Rated.
But okay, fine. You're gonna. Would you take 2?
I'll pull it up.
I'm not gonna pick a guy based off of his NHL ranking.
No, but we know. We know.
This isn't like.
I know, but get out of here.
Well, you know, with NHL
Brian
signs,
Burke.
Shut up. You know what I meant? Like, get out of town.
I don't know who to sign. This guy's rating is higher than this guy.
But his stick handling, man.
His
His
stick
stick handling. But what about the
His
speed?
defense is terrible in this game.
Greg, what are your thoughts on this? You're obviously on the side of who wants that contract. I'm kind of with you, but also it's okay. I don't know if I could deal with the media circus involved with
The
that.
other question I have is, why doesn't Toronto just get him? Because it's a Toronto thing to do. I don't want him on Toronto, but it's a Toronto thing to do.
No, they're set for the
No.
future. It's time.
They're not. They've completely committed to the rebuild. Like they said, we're not trading away any young prospects or anything anymore. Like they literally are doing what they got.
Okay, I have the list of the top 10 right wingers if you want it.
That's tough.
Right before you say that, Dan, I just want to comment on what Stefan said. They're very good at bringing in young players, but they are very good at bringing in dinosaurs into their organization as well. Jacques Lemaire, Lou Lamoriello.
Hey, don't put that on them, okay? They came from Jurassic Park. They didn't. They inherited Jurassic Park, okay?
Technically, Jacques Lemaire is just like an associate person. Like he's just there for.
Yeah, they throw associate in there when
confidant.
it's like, hey, who's the GM or who's that dude or Lou? Hey, Lou, you want to do me a solid? My wife wants to go to Mexico and I need some cash. I'm so sorry, Jacques Lemaire, if you hear this. I really don't. I mean no harm. I would like to go to Mexico if you'd like to take me. You know where to contact me on Twitter. I'll get back to you. I'll hit you up. Shout out one time. Okay,
Go ahead, Dan.
let's hear these ratings.
Okay, I'll do the 10 because a lot of them are grouped together. So 10 and 9 are with an 88 rating is Yuri Hudler and Kyle Okposo. Then you've got number 8, number 7, number 6, all with an 89 rating. Craig's gonna love this. Blake Wheeler, Rick Nash, and Phil Kessel, all with the same rating. That's interesting.
Well, Kessel should be like a 92, but whatever.
I think Phil Kessel actually should be a 99. Are you kidding me? Champion on and off the ice.
And for any Jets fans listening, it looks like Blake Wheeler actually got a face scan this year, so it's not going to be the same guy that's like 50 different
Do you
players
have a
in the
picture of Blake Wheeler?
game. There's a picture. It looks more like him than it used to.
Where do I find... Oh, it scrolled there.
I don't know. It looks more kind of looks more like him than it
Hey,
used
what? That's inaccurate. I'm looking at a picture right now where Blake Wheeler is on both feet and he's past the blue line. That is totally
to.
inaccurate.
Totally
Can't be
inaccurate.
him.
Cannot.
Number 5 and 4, both with a 90 rating, Marian Hossa and Jakub Voracek.
Woo!
Number 3 was Tarasenko with a 91, and then Corey Perry and Patrick Kane are tied with a 92.
Okay, so...
But Corey Perry is listed as number 1 on the list.
He is technically listed. So, Waysha goes. They've released them all now. haven't
For
they?
all of them, yeah. And
So-
for any other Jets fans, Andrew Ladd was the 8th rated left winger with an 88 rating, I believe.
It's not bad.
So-
Who is, just for me, who's the top rated guys? I'm assuming Price,
Crosby's
Weber.
a 96 for
Oh, well
centers.
then no one's higher than Crosby.
Price
Ovechkin,
is,
93.
Price is the goalie. I don't know what his rating is.
It gotta be Weber
Like,
for D.
like a 94.
Weber is the top ranked D-man.
He's a 94, Greg?
Yeah, Price is 94.
What you got Weber or no?
Weber was 93, I believe.
He was number 1, right?
Yeah. He was the top defenseman.
Jeez.
You know what my favorite activity was to do while they were like rolling out those overalls for players? Was to go on the Facebook and just read the hate messages of people that want these players to be higher rated. It is so funny.
You know they can go in the game and up their stats, right? Or you can't do that anymore.
Not online.
Not if you're playing against other people.
If you're playing with yourself.
You
then,
always
yeah.
play by yourself. You play rookie mode. You make everyone 99 overall, and you win every game 30-0.
Shea Weber was a 94.
Yeah.
Duncan Keith and Drew Doughty and Ryan Suter were 93s.
Do they have a list of everybody or no?
No, just the top 10.
Would you like
Well, no. I just wanted to see like
Roman Yossi was number 9 with a 90.
He's good.
he is good.
He was voted
Completely
for the Norris this
underrated,
year.
I think.
He was hitting Narvisville this year, so.
I just
It's
want.
fun seeing people's, like, the players when they see their rankings after, like, it gets released and stuff.
It's great when Madden does that
It's
too.
hilarious. Like, they went to the rookies this year for Madden, and they're like, okay, guess your, like, all the rookies got drafted, like, guess your rating and stuff like that. And you see their faces after they find it, like, what? How am I that low? He's like, well,
You're
okay,
unproven.
You've literally done nothing.
What did famous Jameis say?
I think he just giggled. He's probably eating lobster or something like that. He still
Was that you that told me, didn't Blake Wheeler go back and forth with the EA Sports people on Twitter because they didn't have his equipment right or something?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. Yeah,
Like-
he was going back with like Sean Ramostad, or the gentleman. I'm in charge of EA Sports.
Like kind of jokingly, I think.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, fix my equipment. I don't use Easton, or I don't do this." And so apparently in the download they fixed it, which is kind of cool.
It was one of our friends, one of our listeners, his stepbrother played in the WHL, and they had him as the opposite hand. And he tweeted at that guy, he's like, hey, any chance you can fix this for me? And they changed him to left-handed after.
Cool.
You know what's awesome though?
Yeah.
If a player, if a player requests it, they get a custom cover with them on the front.
Really?
I've seen players go down to EA Sports and like the studio, and they get like a copy of the game with them on the front.
Cool.
So I don't know if like anyone
That's
can
super
request
cool.
it. But
That reminds me of just people like like sports guys. Like, do you think everyone does? Like, if you have the advantage, like, fun fact in Canada, did you know if you go down to your MP or call your MP, your local MP? I don't know what MP stands for, but I know there's a vote coming.
Member of Parliament.
Member of Parliament. Thanks, Greg. You're an adult. You should know this. So you know this.
you're gonna help too.
Every 2 years, if you register and you're a homeowner, they send you a free Canadian flag, 3x5.
Nice.
Mm.
Not bad.
But I was just gonna say about like searching yourself.
By 3 by
Robbie
5
Fabry retweeted us. Robbie Fabry retweeted
No
last minute.
way.
Dude, I'm dead
Yeah,
serious.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Greg discovered it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
About
Yes.
the eyebrows. They
Yes.
are in fact in fleek. Robbie, if you're listening to this, contact
is-
us. Exclusive interview
Yeah,
on
that-
Last Man In Podcast.
That is wicked.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know. Greg said, guys, we made it.
Yeah,
And
finally.
I'm like, what? And then Greg sent the screenshot of Robbie Fabry retweeted. And then we got favorited by a ton of teenage girls.
Yes, finally.
Exactly. It's our
The
time.
whole point of this existence of this podcast.
Promised land has been reached.
So, Greg, how's life after being retweeted by Robbie Fabry?
Guys, I think we now have a new demographic. We should start talking about Justin Bieber, the VMAs, and Meek Mill and Drake beef. There we go.
Hey, that Meek Mill
Yeah.
Drake was a couple weeks ago, and I just want to say Drake is being a very rude Canadian by releasing. Okay, he released the first one, didn't wait for Meek Mill to release the second one, and then released the second one before Meek Mill had time to even rebuttal the first one, and he named it back to back. If anyone knows, because we do have a new demographic, why is Drake associating himself with an owl? Why? Why owl?
Maybe he looks like one.
He doesn't look like an owl. Have you seen Drake?
I don't know.
His real name's Aubrey. Fun fact.
And you know he's really rich. Like he comes from a very rich family as well.
Is he?
His dad was like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. So it's like,
Hey Drake,
you
if
can't
you're
even say
listening,
like he was
shout
like,
out one time.
Started
Yeah.
from the bottom.
yeah, he
Really,
never started from the bottom. He started
like,
from
upper class,
the upper
and now
middle
he's
class.
Upper class.
And then,
That's not fair.
He pretty much like moved over a street.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we're good.
Really?
yeah, maybe he was like the bottom of the like cul-de-sac, and he moved to the higher part of the cul-de-sac.
He moved to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
So like
He was on like the square lot in the corner. Now he's got the big pie shape in the corner.
Oh,
all the
they
extra
they have a
space.
big deck overlooking a hill,
Yeah.
and his dad put his arm around him one day as the sun set, and he's like, "You see down there, son? All those people owe us money."
Wow, we're terrible people.
No,
We're not terrible.
We're not.
Anyway, shout out one time, Robbie Fabry.
Thank
That's
you, Robbie.
awesome.
That's
That was
Thank
very
you,
cool.
Robert.
Guys, it only took us a year and a bit to finally get noticed by someone in the hockey
Did you
industry.
tweet him at Robbie Fabry?
No,
Your eyebrows
no,
are
no,
fleek?
and that's why
But
I
you
did
should
not
tweet
say
him
at
back.
Robbie Fabry. It was just I wrote Robbie Fabry. So someone who knows Robbie Fabry, maybe it's a fake account, but it seems pretty OG.
Is it checked?
It's not checked, but he only has 6,000-ish followers. So, hey, we could have been hacked, but it seems pretty like it could be Robbie Fabry. I went way, way back in the timeline to see.
Okay.
It seems pretty legit.
Okay.
So if he does one day get the check, we
That's it.
did it. We were there.
But did he
we
listen
started
to-
from the bottom with you, Robbie.
But did he listen to the podcast?
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
He probably
I
saw-
doubt it.
He probably saw that thing. He's like, "That's really funny." Retweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Let's make 3 dudes older than me happy. Here you go, losers.
That's the weird thing I think is that we're older.
You're like,
Makes
about
me
80%
feel
of the NHL in 3 years is all going to be younger than me. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, well, guess what? I don't know. I can't think of anything that
You know what?
NHLers can do that I can't. I could go to a movie on a Tuesday.
You go to a movie any day this week and get a Tuesday price.
Yeah, hey, everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fun fact, only in Canada. So,
Ooh,
It's because nobody goes to the movies in the States.
You know what I can do?
dangerous place.
what can you do, Greg?
People get shot at
I
movies for
can
this.
take a girl home
That's
from
true.
the bar and have it reported in the newspapers the next day. Just the only thing is, I never do that because girls don't talk to me.
What?
That was a real roundabout way of
Did you
making
just
a
imply
terrible
you-
joke.
Yeah.
Did you just imply you were going to rape someone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not throw that word around, please.
Sorry, I
That's
shouldn't have said
I
that.
wasn't going to go there, but you took it to a dark place.
We didn't take it to a dark
You,
place.
that was the most.
You pretty much
We're
led us
talking
in
about
the dark
movies.
place.
We're talking about movies.
You monster.
I talked about taking a girl home from the bar. That's not a dark place. That's a very happy thing.
When's
Means
the,
that I
when's the
accomplished
last time you
something.
went to the bar, Greg?
There's nothing else to do in Kenora.
So you go to the bar?
No, I stay in my hotel room and watch Simpsons and play Madden 16.
And thoughts on Madden 16?
It's good. I went to the gym today, though.
What gym
Like-
did you go to?
Like worked out or just like went and checked it out?
Went and worked out.
Which gym? No, don't be specific. That's creepy. Never mind. We don't want
Probably
people
only had
following.
I think it's only one gym, and it's the rec center.
Okay, and what kind of workout did you do? Run us through the workout here. Were you doing upper body? What are you doing? Whole body?
So I started off on the treadmill, and then...
How
after
long were you on the treadmill? How far
I-
did you go? No, we're not skipping details here.
You don't want to know what gym he's at, but you want to know his workout routine too.
Yes. Go. How long were you on there for?
I don't know, probably 15 minutes.
How far
on the
did you go?
treadmill. I hate running on treadmills. I hate it so
How
much.
far did you go? That's no excuse.
What?
How far did you go, Gregory?
Technically, didn't go anywhere. He's on the treadmill.
It counts the kilometers, okay?
I know. I was.
I have no clue because I don't give a crap about that.
Okay.
I was sworn
Well,
previously.
obviously you
He's
don't
too
care
cool to
about your
count,
conditioning then, Gregory. I'm trying to
I
help you.
went,
Craig's too cool to count sets and reps. He just
And then
does
you
it.
did what?
then I stretched, did a few ab workouts. Then
Supposed to
I
stretch
did
before
whole
you
body.
went. Okay, after you stretched, what'd you do?
I did my abs, and then I went whole body.
How long were you there for?
Hour and a half, hour 45.
You did a whole body workout, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay, you're doing
I
it
did it
wrong, Greg.
today.
I'm going to write you a workout regimen. Right now, I'm telling you, you're running 5K at the end of each workout. Should be able to do in...
5K.
You can run 5K in like 25 minutes. It's easy.
No, that's tough.
No,
Fast
it's
you can
not.
do it. I care about how
I do it all the
efficient it
time.
is.
It's super easy.
5K and 25. You gotta run pretty damn fast. Run 5K.
No,
25.
dude, that's like average 8-minute miles.
Yeah, but
8 minutes is not that fast. It's real slow.
Are you gonna run the marathon?
actually, if you were gonna run,
Well, you're gonna be a macho man. Why don't you run the marathon next
if you're
year?
gonna run a
not
kilometer
doing-
every 8 minutes,
Run
then
a half,
40
run the
minutes,
half.
not 25.
Run the half?
You should run the half next year. I'm calling
should
you out.
try.
I'm calling you
You
out.
should stay at the
Fine,
gym.
I'll do it.
Cam has now concurred. He will be now running the Winnipeg half marathon next year.
Fine.
And he will run 8
8
minutes.
minute miles.
He will run
the
8.
entire
He will,
time.
he will run 8 5-minute miles in 25 minutes, not in 40 minutes, because that doesn't make sense.
It does.
8.5 is 40, not 25.
No.
You said
I meant 5K, not 5 miles. Sorry. Because 3.1.
But you said you run.
I suck at math. You know this.
You called it. You called you out. You better fucking run quick.
No. I said kilometers. I meant kilometers. 5K.
All I'm saying is if you're running 8 miles, that's could take you longer to run a kilometer.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, miles are longer than kilometers.
That's true. Never mind.
Because
I
you
got
look at
backwards.
the. You look at the.
I could show you my
Pedometer
Nike Pro
mistakes.
app, guys. It adds up for sure. Like my Nike Pro running app. If you guys
So you
want
run
to,
8K in an hour.
yeah, around there. I'd say so. I've never run a straight
5K
hour
and
though. I usually
25.
I'm dead set. I got my 5K locked in, and that's it. And then I stop. I usually do like 4.5. Anyways, enough of this. Greg, do you have any other news for us or what?
News. There was a thing going on today in Toronto at the Maple Leaf Gardens for Upper Deck.
NHLPA Showcase. We talked about it last
Yeah.
week, Greg. What kind of person are you?
What?
What happened today, though?
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, but it happened today.
Okay.
So I just want
It
How
happened
come-
today, Cam.
How come Mitch Marner wasn't wearing a number?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up.
He's not ready. He's just not ready. He's Justin Trudeau.
I don't think he's gonna be. Look at his hair. Look at his
Look
hair.
at his hair.
Nice hair, though.
I don't think he's gonna be in the NHL this year. So.
Okay, what were you gonna say about it?
I was just going to bring up what do you read into him not having a number? Just means he doesn't have a number?
Yeah,
or-
I don't like the showcase because they always wear the wrong numbers too. Because obviously they're not gonna give him like a number right away.
But David's getting his number.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. Like 5 out of the 40 are gonna have that number. Like Hannafin will be wearing 5. We know that.
Are you sure? Is anyone else 5 on that team?
On Carolina, I'm not up to date on the Carolina roster.
Ron
Are you?
Hainsey? Is Ron Hainsey?
I think Ron Hainsey were like 69 or like 67.
60. He did not wear 69.
65.
65.
So there was a 5 in there. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
He was 44, was he not?
What was Greg? Did you hear that? Was that you?
What?
That boom, boom, boom.
I said Ron Hainsey was 44, was he not?
No, 65.
I think he was 44.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are we
And
debating
yeah,
Ron
why are we
Hainsey?
debating about this? Anyways,
Jesus H.
here,
Christ.
I have some news. Signings. Cody Eakin, Winnipeg boy. 4 years. 15.4 million. That's 3.85 million per. And Hampus Lindholm signed a bridge contract of 2 years, 5.4 million. That's 2.7 per. And injuries. Patrick Berglund had surgery on his right shoulder and will be reevaluated in 4 months. 4 months is December from now.
Not a huge loss, but
Nothing. All right. Now,
There's some
guys.
Jets news you did failed to.
Go.
We know this. You skipped it.
What was the Jets news that we had to
PTO.
talk about?
PTOs.
I didn't write it on my paper.
I know. We told you.
We talked about it.
We
God
specifically
damn it.
Talked
Oh,
about
wait, you didn't say Cameron,
Jesus.
write this down.
Yeah, we did. We said write it down. We're talking
Oh,
about it.
I didn't write it down. The Jets signed some PTOs, I guess?
one.
They don't sign. They're invited to camp as on a PTO.
Okay, well, we're all learning today, okay? We're learning that. I suck at listening.
Yes.
And math.
And math.
And math,
And
yes.
math.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Dan. You said,
What's
two.
the-
There's 2.
Go. Who are the PTOs?
Oh, I don't have them here.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding
I do,
me?
I do,
You
I
can
do.
call me out and then you
I
don't even
do.
have this stuff.
I do.
Go,
No one
Stefan.
told me. I've got the questions
Go.
ready to go.
David Leggio, a goalie who you said last year knocked the net
Knocked
off.
the net off on a 2-on-0 against them, apparently.
Yes.
In the AHL.
So he's 31 years old, and they also signed or invited Thomas Raffle.
Any relation to Michael?
I think he might be. Like,
Oh, man, you guys are in for a raffle copter time.
Yeah,
Sunday raffle house.
And yeah, and then like the Blues have like 6 PTOs already. They've offered like they're just inviting.
You get a PTO.
Everyone gets.
Everybody gets a
yeah.
PTO.
Scott Gomez, Scotty Upshaw. They got a bunch.
Yeah, there's a few. There's quite a few. The ones I'll name the people who've been invited camp so far for PTOs. Some guy named Zach O'Brien got invited to St. Louis. Spencer Osachek to St. Louis. Evan Trupp to St. Louis. Parker Milner to the Islanders. Tyler Barnes to the Islanders. Brendan Burke to Anaheim. Scott Gomez to St. Louis. The last non-Jet to have a hat trick, Eric Bolton, got
Whoa!
invited to the Islanders.
Wasn't he already an Islander to begin with?
He was. He just didn't get a contract.
Oh, so,
okay.
so it's like approved.
All right, so
Yeah.
now we're just getting into the guys bottom.
Uriah Hayes to St. Louis. Toronto has Devin Setaguchi.
Oh.
Tom Cicito to Pittsburgh. LA invited Peter Budaj. Matt Karkner to the Islanders. Scotty Upshaw to the Islanders. Gonchar to the
Penguins.
Pens.
Greg, thoughts?
Remember when Peter Budaj was traded to Winnipeg for Eric Tangredi?
I remember
I
on
do.
this very podcast,
It was the
we
best
were
day
so
of my
excited.
life. It was the best day of my life.
Hey, Greg, the device that you're using to talk to us right now is at 1%. So if it dies, use our other business line.
Okay.
The one that you used originally last week. I don't want to say anything over the podcast. Okay, so our social insurance numbers are 11. Just kidding. Okay,
That's a
guys,
lie. No social insurance number starts with 1.
your mom starts with 1. Oh, oh, broop, broop. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. You can't fade me. I'm in the shower. I'm in the shower.
How much Drake do you listen to?
Not a lot. I just know like
Your
the
spare time. Jesus.
I know the big ones. Okay? All right, guys. People wrote questions for us.
3 people wrote questions.
Fine. Start off.
But
with...
there's several questions.
Okay. Well,
Was there any in the mailbag? Did anyone check
None.
the
I checked the mailbag. None.
Okay.
None.
God,
None.
I wanted to tell a story.
Oh.
No, we don't have time for your story, Greg.
Question.
You save your
Time
story.
for your bullshit.
Okay. Well, that's great.
So, who should we start off with?
Start with the.
Start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom, and then we'll get here.
Uh,
Name the person and the question.
I want to save that guy's for last because he's got some good ones.
Okay.
So Jordy Longbottom.
Not that the other questions aren't good.
No.
Yeah.
Just some of them are funny. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Jordy Longbottom YouTube name. His question. He says, "I know the Jets like to go with the best available, but in the 2016 draft, what kind of a player do you think they are looking for and need? Thanks and great podcast. Keep it up."
Well, thank you, Jordy. First off, I would say winger. They need wingers.
Right or left?
Any wingers. Oh, and line 2 here. We run a business. We're professionals. Let's see if this
it's right.
works.
Sorry.
And
Wait.
let's see if this works.
Hello.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, so Jordy Longbottom asked, I know they don't have a lot of need. What was it?
I know the Jets always go with the best available, but in the 2016 draft, what do you think they need and are looking for?
Are we talking like just overall? Or are we
Overall.
talking, okay.
In general.
Okay.
What do you think? Like, what do they need to draft?
Honestly, I don't think they need to draft anything. Everything's stocked up. I mean, maybe
Wingers. I'm telling you.
Really?
Well,
They had a good draft this past year for wingers, though. Like
I would still
Kyle
stock up.
Connor's like a center winger, right? And who's that?
Jack Roslovich, hard center.
You think so?
Oh,
It's
I
a
know.
lot easier to get a centerman to play winger than it is a winger to play center, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say their need is defense and bigger bodies. I think they should draft for size, but they won't.
I would agree. Size. A lot of the guys they've got now are on the smaller end of the spectrum, so
Only drafted that Eric Foley. He's a pretty big guy. They're like that. There's a reason they have the number 1 prospect pool in the league, right?
Oh,
they're just
absolutely.
Whoa. Who said they're number 1?
Craig Button.
That's not me.
future.
No.
What's
We all know who the
Hockey-
number 1 prospect
Hockey
pool is.
futures.
hockey news?
No, I don't count those as legitimate
Guys,
sources.
I
Hashtag Cup in 19.
on the weekend.
What's that, Greg?
I said I met a hockey news writer on the weekend.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah.
And?
What?
And?
Well, did he say he actually did, or do you have proof that he did?
Well,
I feel like there's a lot of people in Kenora that say they're famous people,
I need it right
and they're
now.
not. And you fell for
They're
it.
famous in Kenora.
Yeah.
Greg actually tells people he's cousins with Leo DiCaprio.
It works.
And it works 9 times out of 10.
All right. Does Jordy have any other questions?
Jordy Longbottom also asked, if Nikolai Ehlers makes the team, how many points do you think he will put up, and who would he play with?
Greg will let you have this one right off the hop.
we'll go with 45 points, and he'll play on the line. He'll change lines throughout the year, but he'll start, I think, with Burmy and Lowry.
Okay.
All right.
I
Do you
was-
guys have any? Yeah, go.
I was going to say 45 points, too. I think he starts with Scheifele and Wheeler on the top line. I
he starts
I don't think there's a purpose in him playing in anything lower than the second line. And I think they have nothing to lose to start him there in the first game and see what he does.
I think he doesn't play here, but if he did, same idea, same like third line, whoever is in the third line there. Again, not beneficial to him in any way. And I'll put him about 35 points.
I'm 100% with Stefan. I think he's going to Switzerland. Like, I mean, I'd love to see him here. If he makes it, I'm 30, 35. I don't think he's gonna blow the roof off just yet. He looks to be something special.
I would agree. I'm saying if he stays, it's only because he's good enough that he'll put up 45 points. If he's not that, if he doesn't look like he's going to be that good, I don't think they keep him. Because I don't think this is just an average rookie. I think this is a rookie of the year.
Well,
not a lock, but I think this is a guy
Hold on. There's hype behind it only because we're in Winnipeg. Like,
No.
if you put him in retrospect to other guys,
He's going to have to go against Jack Eichel, Connor McDavid. Like, these are studs.
Not this year, perhaps, but in a year.
Or
if he comes
next
in
year.
Next year.
Next year he has to go against Austin Matthews.
He'll go against Austin this year if he's in the Swiss Elite League.
Do you think he'll go to Swiss? Is that his?
I'm pretty sure because he came from Swiss before he
We
went
go to the KHL. I think it's a better challenge.
I think he said he wants to go to Swiss.
Okay, go play in hometown. What if he just never came back? That would be.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Suck
Does
it,
Jordy have any other questions?
That is it.
Well, thank you, Jordy, for your questions.
Feel free to leave them anytime you want.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Another
That's
guy
great.
called the Sports Guy.
Sports guy, Kate.
First one he has is not really a question. Well, I guess sort of a question. He says, "Well, there's been a lot of rumors that Buff might go to Boston." ...
We've already answered that question. He's going to Pittsburgh.
If he goes to Boston, that'd be a mean defensive core.
They're not going to do that.
They've cleaned up a lot of cap space. Like
They have to do something. The only thing I'd be questioning about that is what would they give up to the Jets, because the Jets are going to want probably like a top 6, top 9 forward.
I would
Boston
say
doesn't have much left after they kind of.
I can see he goes there. What if he goes there as like a UFA though?
Yeah, I'm going to say
True,
maybe
true,
if the
true.
and what was the question? Sorry.
He just kind of was an opening statement.
Oh,
saying
Buff.
There's been rumors Buff to Boston.
I don't think Buff will end up in. I could see him in Boston, but
Does he have any sort of a no movement clause or anything like that in his contract?
maybe.
The contract was signed the last year in Atlanta, so I don't know. Well, it wasn't a Jets contract.
Greg, thoughts?
I don't know if Boston would be interested in him.
Yeah, I think they're trying to go youth movement. Like, although they just
Yeah,
got
they really are.
Well, they were trying to clear space still because they were in like salary cap hell because of Chiarelli there. So
Yeah.
they were like, that's why they traded all those guys away. Like, we need to have room to maneuver and stuff like
yeah,
that.
and why would they do that and then bring in another monster contract?
But I mean the Dougie Hamilton, that was more of a he didn't want to be there.
Ish, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, the sports guy. That's awesome.
He's got one more.
Oh,
He says,
sorry.
What teams do you guys think will make the cup this year?
Okay, I know already. I know my answer. Tampa, Anaheim. That's my cup final. I'm sticking with
I'm
it.
going to go Washington, Anaheim. Washington, Anaheim, yeah.
I'm going to go the Rangers and out of the West, eh?
Take your pick of like
Dallas. I want Dallas.
Nice.
I want
Okay,
Dallas.
Greg, cup final. Go.
I'm going to go with what Dan said and go Washington, but I'm going to not pick the other team he picked and go with Minnesota Wild.
Beautiful.
Good pick.
Beautiful.
Buffalo has a modified no trade clause. So
Oh,
I don't know
so
what the
he's got a
actual
list
thing
of
is.
teams
so
that
he could probably
he
give a
can't,
list.
he doesn't want to go to.
That or teams he's willing to go. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It just said modified no trade clause.
Okay, right on. That's it from Sports Guy?
That's good. Then we
Thank you,
got
Sports Guy.
JoJo Brownie 57.
I like
A
your
lot of good ones. Well,
Jojo Brown, Brownie or Brown?
JoJo Brownie 57.
I wonder if it's a guy or a girl.
It's a Jets fan because his display picture, his, her, whoever you are.
Jojo,
Your
what's
Jets,
up, what's up?
Your picture is a
They
Jets.
commented on a couple videos ago.
They have. Thanks for all the comments,
So
actually.
this is more of a comment because I guess Cam asked last week if anyone outside of Winnipeg knew who Gary Lawless was.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "I know who Gary Lawless is." Wait, I know who Gary Lawless is. He blocked me on Twitter because I called him a meatloaf.
I like you already. You are one of my favorite people. I like that.
Will Jets goalies half the games? I guess split them. And do you guys like Pavlik?
To answer your first question, I think it's going to be 60-40 split. I think they're going to ride Pav. And they're waiting for Pav to slip up immensely before they let Hutch. But they've shown that they trust Hutch as well. And do I like Pavlik? Yeah, he gets the job done. He's not... This comes from Flyers fans. So, I mean, I can't really crap talk goalies myself. But he gets the job done. He's better than a few NHL goalies.
Like starters?
Yeah.
You know, I'd say, yeah, he's like middle of the pack, but maybe closer to like 20 than 15.
Okay,
I
and Dan,
think.
split?
I think it's 60-40, unless he, like you said, unless he just bombs it out of the gate. Because, I mean, he pretty much got them in the playoffs last year by himself. Not alone, but his play was a big reason. So
And Calgary Flames, you can thank them, too.
he had 3 shutouts in the last 10 games or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
Just don't shoot him outside the blue line.
Yeah, I'd say 60-40, but I'm always going to be skeptical. I like him. I do like him. I think he's a good goalie. I don't think he's the starting goalie that they need.
Okay.
But he's
Yeah. Stefan.
I think both goalies struggle this year, and they bring up
Ooh.
They bring up
Hellebuck.
I mean, they'll be kind of like on that fringe, like what's going to inject us to make us go to the playoffs? Because they obviously want to make the playoffs. That's the goal now from now on.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, you know what? We have a stud in the AHL. We got to give him a chance. And if he starts lighting it up, I don't like Pavlik. I think he's he's like a Tim Thomas. He's super exciting to watch, but like I was a goalie. He's the worst position goalie. And the reason he's like outrageous saves is because he's out of position all the time, and eventually like he's getting older and
you're getting burned.
Yeah,
now.
it's gonna happen. Like their defense saved his butt a lot more than people realized last year for just clearing pucks and getting in the way of pucks and stuff like that. So,
all right, Greg.
I think they're going to go with the tandem, but I really like what Stefan said. It might be still too early to bring Hellebuck up, but I wouldn't be surprised if he at least gets a couple starts this season. If he plays maybe 6 or 7 games, I wouldn't be shocked, even up towards to that 10. We know that Pavlik's been hurt before. You don't know what about Hutchinson if he'll get hurt, but I think we go into the season with a 50-50 split and finish the year like last year where you ride the hot hand until the hot hand gets cold, and then you turn over to the other hot hand. So I could see that happening.
Smartest play I think that they have is to split them and then go with the hot, like Greg said.
I think we all in agreement.
Pavlik's good in 50 games, but if you play him more...
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, Jojo Brownie's got a few more.
Okay.
I guess I should have asked this one first. He says, are you all Jets fans?
Quasi,
well,
somewhat.
I am a Thrashers fan since 99, so yes. You guys, I don't know.
I watch their games. I associate, when people ask me who I cheer for, I say
Cam's
Flyers.
week to week.
I'm a Leafs fan, number one above all else, but I still definitely cheer for the Jets. Like they're my number 2B. I like the Stars as well. So.
Okay, Greg.
Leafs number 1. Been a fan since I can remember. Jets are 2 just because they're here, and Colorado's like a close number 2. Growing up in our age, it was tough not to be a Colorado Avalanche fan.
0-1, one of the greatest playoff series ever. Playoff moments.
Is that Ray Bourque?
Yep.
I didn't understand. I just to kind of go off topic with Colorado. I remember we were 10 when that happened. We were all 10. But
you were 9.
No, we
were. Or I was 9. You guys were
9.
You were 9 too. Oh, we all got late birthdays then.
I was 10.
But either way, we were we were younger. I didn't understand the impact of Ray Bourque. Like I remember I was at I was with my dad and all my uncles, and we got together and we were watching that whole series. Like my dad made it normally we watch together anyways, playoffs, or I try to watch as many playoffs as he can. But that year, when the Avs made the final, I knew my dad was a Jets fan, and I mean there's 2 things my dad passed on to me for hockey. Wayne Gretzky, I hate him. And I hate the Coyotes because they took the Jets. So those are the 2 things I know from my dad. Anyways, but that was one of the other main memories I had was we were watching and with all my uncles and my dad, and we're all watching together. And then when Ray Bourque went to go get the cup, it just went silent. Everyone just took the moment in. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. I can't watch that clip. I can't watch that clip or the Timu Solani clip without being I need a minute. Yeah, I can't watch that around people.
I guess the modern day equivalent would be if Drew McGinley won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think everyone would cheer for that.
I think is he the greatest player still playing that hasn't won a cup? I think
the greatest. We might find greatest player.
Jeez.
But you know what I mean.
Okay, everyone would
the
cheer
guy
for...
that's played the longest that deserves one that hasn't gotten one.
Iginla's up there.
Joe Thornton's up there.
No.
You don't like Joe Thornton?
I respect him.
He rips his dick out and jerks off in the crowd. You wouldn't respect
if
that?
He scored 4 goals, sure, I'd respect that because that'd be hilarious. But I appreciate it for the comedic value. Okay, I want to see Iginla win, but is it terrible that I want to see Lundqvist win more? Because it's Lundqvist has bared the load for so long.
I think Ovi too. I'd be ecstatic.
Ovi, I got Ovi jerseys or a jersey, of course. Wait, how do we get here?
Are you all Jets fans?
Colorado. Not all of us. No. We all live in Winnipeg. We all cheer for Winnipeg by association. Dan is the only really OG Jets fan. Yeah. That's his only team.
I watched the Thrashers play for a long time, so
yeah,
it was.
We talked about how we had the jumbotron. What's that?
I said he'd watch them suck for even longer.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
He still hasn't seen them win a playoff series.
0-8. You guys think one sweep is bad? Try two.
2 in what? How many years now?
Well, 07 was the first sweep.
When did they come into
No,
the
when
league?
they come into the league.
99.
Oh!
We're the only team in the modern NHL that hasn't won a playoff game.
That's funny.
All right.
Because Columbus won a playoff game last year.
Yeah,
They had-
2 years ago.
And they hadn't won one before that.
Matt Calvert, OT winner, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! I was jacked up about that.
JoJo Brownie.
Yep.
What's Winnipeg's record going to be? Last year they were... We did this last week. I wrote it down.
We did do this last week.
43, 26, and 13 for 99 points.
I don't think
I'm
they're
going to
hitting...
say 44, 25. No, I don't know. 44,
32.
44, 25, and 13 for 101 points.
I'm not getting exact. I'm going to say they don't hit 40 wins and they miss playoffs.
Actually, I'm going to go with 39, 32, and 11 for 91 points. 89 points in the list of playoffs.
Yeah, I'd say like the 90 to 95 range in there. Like that's, but they won't make the playoffs with that. You can't at 90.
No, they'd have to get 99, 100 to make the playoffs.
Okay, and any more questions?
One more question from JoJo Brownie, 57.
Okay.
How old is Cam? Question mark.
Why just
Wait,
me?
wait. 19? Question mark.
He acts like it.
What? No, I don't. Get out of town. No, we're all born in 91, to answer your question. Everyone on the podcast.
So for math, that means Cam's 23, turning 24. So
Yeah, but my draft class would have been the Taylor Hall, Tyler Sagan draft. So mine would have been...
Ours was...
When's your birthday? Oh, later. I know when your birthday is. Yeah, ours is late. Dan and Greg have earlier birthdays. Me and Stefan have later birthdays.
No, because I would have been 18 at the beginning of the season, so I would have been in that draft.
Okay, well then I'm the only one with the late.
Who was
birthday.
drafted? Who was drafted the year that Vander Kane was drafted?
I was drafted. I would have been drafted the year Matt Duchene was drafted.
Duchene.
Who was the first overall?
He's way more important than Victor Hedman was that draft.
Johnny T.
Johnny T.
Oh man, how does it make you feel? You're Johnny T's age. You guys are terrible.
But he had a late birthday, didn't he? Isn't that why he got...
I don't know. All I know is I used to use the argument to my friends who are older than me. Are like, how does it make you feel when blank NHL player won a cup? I can't use it anymore because Sagan won a cup, you monster. You went and ruined it all.
Oh, yeah, he did too.
Yeah. So no further questions?
That's
There's
it.
no one else in that first round who won a cup?
And Sagan? Sagan's the only one off the top of my head that I know of.
Who did Chicago draft?
Who did Chicago draft that year?
I'm pretty sure Brandon Saad is younger than Sagan was.
Well, yeah, obviously, but then it loops all of us together. We're all losers, okay? Let's just get over that. Yeah. All right, Greg, do you have any closing words for us or any more questions?
I have a story.
Okay.
Make it short.
You just don't seem excited at all.
No. We're excited. I was just like, I wanted a time constraint because we've been pushing the long
How are we
podcast.
doing? Are we over an hour yet?
I think so. Let's find out. I'll try and do my best. Greg, hold still. Way to hold still. Thank you, Greg. Perfect. Yeah, we're good. We got time. Go ahead.
Okay, this will be quick. So I met this girl. Won't say how I met her. You can draw whatever conclusions you want to.
Tinder.
He looked in a mirror. Wearing a wig.
KFC.
Brought up very early in the conversation that she was a Habs fan. Brought up very early in the conversation I mentioned I was a Leafs fan. She detests Leaf fans. I'm like, well, what's your problem? She said, they're all stupid idiots and they know nothing about hockey. So I'm like, oh, really? What makes you say that? And she says, she goes into the whole, like, they cheer for a team that never wins and they know nothing about hockey. And me, I'm kind of getting a little irritated. I'm like, well, you got to understand, not all Leaf fans are like that. She goes, no, all Leaf fans are. I'm like, well, I'm a little different of a breed. Like, I know my hockey pretty well. And then she's like, well, why would you ever cheer for them? And I always go back to the story of, well, when I was younger, my brother watched them, and I looked up to him. That's who I watched. Whenever I went to my grandpa's house, that's what was on. He was a Leaf fan. Watched hockey with him. Made her feel kind of bad. But then she kept returning. He's like, they're stupid. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So I'll leave this for you. I was like, you think Leaf fans are dumb? Montreal Canadiens fans are so dumb that they went out and tried to criminally prosecute someone for a hit in a hockey game. And, yeah, didn't speak to her again after that because I think she understood the point that she is part of a fan base that would do that. So
Great.
that was my story.
And that has been
Love it.
that
That's
has
awesome.
been what grinds Greg's gears.
Yeah, I would just throw in her face like, you traded Scott Gomez for Ryan McDonough. You traded Ryan McDonough for Scott Gomez. You can suck it. And you thought that was a good trade at the beginning.
You also booed the American national anthem.
Yeah, like
There's that too.
and then I wanted to be like, yeah, Jets fans are pretty bad too, as Cam and I know. Like, and no, just apparently
That sounds
fans are the
worse.
stupidest people. But that's why. Whatever. I don't think most Montreal Canadian fans will ever admit that the only reason why they're anywhere this season is because of their goalie. They'll say, yeah, he was great, but the rest of the team's super good too.
And they didn't want him. They would rather
Exactly.
have Yaroslav Halak than Carey Price. People were appalled when they traded Yaroslav Halak instead of Carey Price.
Do you remember when Carey Price was drafted?
6th overall.
I sure do. Pierre McGuire.
I can't believe they make this pick. This is a stupid pick. Not direct quote, but like, yeah.
I'll tweet the video so you can hear. It's like Pierre McGuire was like, "Oh, they really missed the mark. There are so many more needs." And he starts listing like, "Oh, they have Yaroslav Halak, blah 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 blah." And then like now Carey Price is like, "You mad, bro?" Glasses fall down from the roof. Deal with it. So basically, Greg, did you just put someone on blast who will never hear it? How does it feel?
I felt pretty good about myself after that, and I just really wanted to tell that story since.
You know what, you know what, Greg? I
In my
think
hotel room Sunday after that, being like, I was sitting there just like, okay, how much more can I take until like I just end up saying this because they were so dumb. And I just, sat here and I started typing that all angrily. Like when you angrily text and you start hitting the screen harder because you're like agitated? Yeah, that's what I was at. I started sweating a little bit. It got intense.
Greg, I think this should be a returning segment. Whenever you feel you have to put someone on blast, we're going to do it.
The people of Kenora.
As long as we don't name names. No, let's not put Kenora into this. Let's
Okay.
put just, you ran into a bad bunch. As you and I, that one time we went to the Jets game, we ran into a bad bunch of Jets fans. But I was already at my breaking point, and I just left the Jets. I left them in the dust. I'm not going back. But I still go to games.
Yeah.
But
I can guarantee you go to Philadelphia and see the same thing, and you would feel the same
You
way.
ran into a bad apple. And no, Philly people are great. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
They didn't flip off Sidney Crosby on national TV. Not at
They
all.
did. And that wasn't Crosby. It was Carcillo in the playoff game.
That was Crosby.
Well, they probably do Crosby every game, but that's...
I thought it was in the playoffs. Like Crosby was like digging along the boards, and the two fans in the front row were just like,
well, yeah. It was probably the same guy who flipped off Carcillo, too.
yeah, he's got a track record going.
What's your moment? What's your worst Jets fan moment?
My worst Jets fan
Yeah,
moment?
I have one as well.
I have so many that just like... Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go with the one that put me over the edge. Greg was there. When we saw the dad... Greg originally saw a dad, we talked about this on the podcast, and his two sons. They couldn't have been... Both of them under the age of 6, like separate ages.
Yeah.
And they were chanting, "Ref, suck." And like, I know it's so like nothing, but like, I'm like, come on. You're treating your kid like garbage for that.
Says
like,
the guy that shit talks beer league referees. Get out of here. Come on.
No, no. Yeah, I grew up though, and I learned to do that on my own. My dad didn't train me to say, "Hey, you see that ref? Yeah, screw that guy. He's not a nice guy. You can do whatever you want to him." It's like Greg went on a big rant with a lot of bigger words that made more sense. Basically, you're telling him it's okay to like boo someone who's doing their job and who's an authoritative figure just because you didn't get your way. That's not how the world works. Okay?
Yeah, but
like,
are they doing it like that? Or are they doing it because everyone's doing it?
that too. Don't do it because everyone does it. Like
Well,
that's what put me over the edge, and that's the. But I've had many friends. I've had friends have beer thrown at them. I've had a friend have the back of his head dry humped.
But you do realize that if you
Yeah.
you live in Winnipeg, that's why you know what happens at Jets games. No matter where
I
you
know
live,
it happens
you would see the
everywhere,
same
but
thing.
I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm over the people
Move
of
to
Winnipeg.
Philly and talk to me in 2 years and see how
I
it is.
don't. I hate that. Talk to me in 2 years. Of course I'll see it, but like they're the worst. The number one worst. Stefan, you go.
I went to a Sunday afternoon Colorado Avalanche, and
That was the same game, dude.
Was it
Same
really?
game. Was it last year?
Yes.
Then
It was
Greg and
like-
I were at that game.
I was at this game, and I went with a friend who, like, it was his tickets. He's not a huge hockey fan. He knows, like, again, knows the bare minimum, like, the average stuff. I went to the game, and we were talking, and it was a boring game. It was the most boring game.
That's a quiet game, yeah.
It was awful. Like, there was nothing going on. So we're sitting there, and we're both kind of hungover, so we're chatting. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, Joe Sakic is now the GM of the team. He's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I didn't know that. I'm like, he's like, yeah, do you know what's actually pronounced? It would be pronounced Sacic or something, because it's, like, Slovenian.
Yeah, okay.
So he was like, he's like, oh, that's a consonant, and he was, like, explaining how those work. I don't know this thing. So he's explaining it, because the game was that boring. It was that awful of a game.
Well, you were learning something,
yeah,
too.
and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then we kind of like talked about that, and then we were talking about, like, we kind of went on to, like, oh, he was on an unreal career, and some guy in front of us turned around, and he's like, what the fuck are you losers talking about? Consonants and stuff? I'm like, we're talking about Joe Sakic. He's, what the fuck would you talk about Joe Sakic? He literally looked at me, and we were playing the Colorado Avalanche. Not even if Joe Sakic was the GM. I was like, are you fucking... I looked at him and was like, are you stupid? Like, he was swearing, first off, and there's kids beside us. Like, it's a Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m., and you're liquored out of your face. Fine, go ahead, get drunk at a Jets game. Watch your language in front of, like, small children. And he's, like, swearing at us. Like, I literally said, I'm talking about Joe Sakic. He freaked out at me, like, he was, like, yelling, and his girlfriend's beside him. She's shaking her head. 'Cause, like, she obviously knows more than him. And then he's like, why would you talk about Joe Sakic? We're at a hockey game, you're talking about consonants and stuff. I'm like, we're talking about Joe Sakic. What would you talk about? I was like, because he's the GM of the team. He's like, oh, talk about school and shit and all this. I'm like, man, like, first off, watch your language. He's like, fuck you. I was like, man, are you, like, I was like, are you serious? Like, this is absurd. I can't even handle you. And, like, his girlfriend's shaking her head. My friend, like, he's a fairly intelligent dude, so he kind of, like, rebutted him in, like
the knowledgeable way.
Yes, exactly. He, like, just put him in his place. I was like, thank you. I was like, the guy was like, blah, blah. And he's one of those guys who just yells, shoot no matter what. Which was the most, the power play, and they're leaving their zone. Shoot! Shoot the puck! Like, no one is shooting the puck. Like,
we're not shooting on Pavlik.
Yeah, like,
we don't need the half line here.
Like,
we're fine.
It was very, like, again, I understand any rink you go to, there's going to be idiot fans, but, like, there's just some things as a fan, you don't swear in front of kids, which is beyond me. And, like, he obviously knows nothing about hockey. He had a fake Jets jersey and, like, his own name on the back.
Okay, you know what? It's fucking year 5. No more fake jerseys. This is ridiculous.
It was just...
Get a real one. Come on.
It was an absurd moment. I just looked at... I was like, this is astonishing. You
had to step outside the moment and be like, wow, this is happening.
And there was guys beside us who were laughing because they're like, this guy's an idiot. Like, he knows nothing about hockey. Like, he clearly just became a Jets fan because the Jets came back, which, good. I'm glad it got Winnipeg hockey back, but, like, there's people who just, like, jumped on the Jets bandwagon, had no idea anything about hockey, like, is like, okay.
You know the people I love? They go to a Jets game and they're sitting there on their phone.
Oh, social media warriors. Yeah.
The whole time. You're paying probably $100 for that ticket and you're texting.
You know what? They are worse than parents who bring their young children who won't remember. I'd rather have a child there than a social media warrior.
I went to Winnipeg Blue Bombers, didn't even listen, CFL, Canadian football. I went to the game on the weekend. There was a lady 2 rows down from me on Instagram the whole game. Literally, she did not put her phone down.
How was that game?
And I get that the game was bad, but you're like, if you want to go sit at home, be insecure, and go on fucking social media the whole day, sit in your basement, dude.
And that has been putting on blast. Last man in. Greg
just friggin' like let.
Do you have any more blast before we roll bounce out of here?
Well, I do have one story from a very interesting time in my life at Jets games.
Greg, how much time is this going to take? We're well over time now. We were so on time, and now we're well over time.
We're on time, so we also
go. You speed. You give us a spark mix.
Sorry. So, I used to be part of a season ticket group a couple years ago. The first year the Jets were back, I was with a good friend of the show, Tyler, and me and him go to our first game. It was Washington Capitals. No, it was Phoenix Coyotes. I think it was.
It was a team.
That's not who they were playing.
Greg, are you okay?
The people next to us. We're sitting there. One guy's in the Kane jersey. The other guy, I don't even know what he was wearing. But Tyler and I were talking because, like, we know lots about hockey. And we're just talking about sports and hockey and the game and other stuff, like social stuff, right? Because we're friends outside of, just going to Jets games. And we make points about what's going on in the play. And, like, both Tyler and I used to be refs, or Tyler still is a ref. So, like, they'd get mad at a call, and both Tyler and I would, like, laugh about it, right? The two guys next to us turned to us and just said, "You want to shut the fuck up and just watch hockey?" And I wanted to just punch him in the face. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know that we can't talk in a public space." He said, "Well, it's really fucking annoying having to listen to you not know anything about hockey." I was like, "Yep, okay, that's fine. You can sit there, drink your beer, and not talk all game. We'll have a conversation." And I laughed, like, we laughed about it later. We're just like, wow, what a bunch of tools.
Jets fans 101.
We don't hate all Jets fans, but
No.
we've just ran into the rotten bad apples.
On that
Oh,
note,
you know what? Here's a question. Greg, did this happen in the upper deck or lower deck?
That was Upper Deck.
Greg or Stefan?
Upper deck.
Dan? Oh, Dan.
What? I've had bad experience. Of course, I've had bad experiences.
No, but mine though, specifically upper deck. Maybe
They're cheaper tickets.
cheaper
tickets, younger crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a Minnesota Wild game. There were old drunk people swearing at the game out loud.
But that's old people.
Doesn't matter. No, like
I'm just bugging you. I'm just bugging you, man. The one time I went to a Wild game, our rink attendant lady went and bought nachos, only had like 3 of them, and gave me the rest of them.
Oh, wow.
It
That
was
is awesome.
sweet. And then she even offered to give us a ride home later, but we just took the directions to the metro instead because we were kind of scared. I'm not saying not of her, just of like stranger danger. We were like 21, but still, like, just in case. You don't know if she's gonna bring us to a back alley in Minneapolis and be like, "Walk home now, touch."
I don't think so.
No, she's probably being a very nice lady. She's
Minnesota-
awesome.
Minnesota
I actually
people are
called
really nice.
and gave her a compliment. Like, I called and said, "Hey, where's the compliment line?" And they're like, "Oh, we'll direct you through." Compliment. You're welcome for that, everybody. All right.
We just made the podcast 30 seconds longer.
We did for that.
You're welcome.
All right, Greg, you want to sign us out here? You signed us in. Live from
yeah, I'll-
Kenora.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you heard your comment on here, thanks for commenting. If you didn't, make a comment, make one, and you'll be on the next episode of the Last Man In podcast, potentially, depending when we get around to reading the comments. Because
If you ask questions, we will answer them. Swear to God.
but we do honestly appreciate all comments, all suggestions, all criticisms as well, as long as they're constructive. And we look forward to hockey starting soon. This is going to be exciting coming up here. So thank you for listening.
Excellent. All right. Well, that about wraps it up. If I can figure out how this works. And what's the last words going to be that they'll hear from us?